The rain had just stopped when Kelly, a college student working on her thesis about political dynasties, stepped into the old provincial museum. She was expecting company, much less a talkative tour guide that just appeared out of nowhere.
Welcome. I hear you're researching about political dynasties. Care for a journey?
Before she could answer, the lights dimmed, the walls shimmered, and just like that, Kelly was pulled into a story. The museum dissolved into an old Spanish era plaza. Horse drawn carriages clattered on cobblestones.
You see, power began with land and loyalty.
She watched as a Spanish friar granted privileges to a wealthy clan, whispering deals behind the closed doors. Time shifted again. Now, they were in a classroom built under American rule.
Then came elections. But power stayed in the same families, passed from generation to generation, and before long, positions became heirlooms.
Kelly watched a father teach his son how to shake hands, kiss babies, and smile for newspapers. The boy practiced like it was a family tradition, because it was. Lights swirled, transforming the scene into a glitzy stage. Drama music swelled. Suddenly, a political ad played out like a soap opera. A candidate cried over a dramatic monologue. Another danced beside a noontime show host. Billboards flashed with familiar surnames.
Why do dynasties thrive? Simple. Familiarity sells. No matter how many times you've seen the same cliche storylines, the legal wife versus the mistress, a rich boy, poor girl love story, and switched babies at birth, we eat them up. These formulas work because they're familiar. The same goes with political dynasties, and in a country that loves teleserye,
We become fans?
precisely.
They now stood in a busy barangay hall. Lines of people exchanged envelopes, job referrals, promises whispered over plates of pancit.
Patronage makes politics personal. You don't vote for a platform. You vote for someone who fixed your cousin's hospital bill or someone who gave your family cash subsidies after a calamity.
Are you saying it's the people's fault for not being able to discern between platforms and personal favors?
Do you believe that? Well, it seems that way on the surface, but there's actually more to it. I'd like to take a guess.
When you said that positions become a family heirloom, a pamana, I realized something. Maybe the reason why the Philippines is held back from genuine progress is because power is hoarded among a few families.
Bingo! Positions in the government become their business, along with under the table deals that translate to legislations and policies that only serves their interests. They do not serve the interests of the people, they do it for themselves, for their legacy.
So that's why genuine progress seems to be so elusive.
And that's why people are forced to rely on petty cash assistance and even bribes during elections.
Another scene flashed. Political parties scrambling, switching alliances overnight like actors changing networks. Then, the Congress chamber materialized. Several lawmakers shook their heads dismissively at a proposed anti dynasty bill.
Of course they won't pass it. It's like asking thieves to be in favor of putting up CCTV cameras everywhere.
Your words, not mine. I know you might be surprised, but this is the Dynasty Multiverse portal. It shows the silhouettes of different clans floating around, and I can probably watch them if I'm bored. And in this one specific silhouette, you can see that these siblings share mayorships and congressional seats over alternating terms. And like the ones we have in our country right now, there's actually different families occupying different positions simultaneously. Like the Avengers, but less heroic and stupid.
It's not just a family tree, it's a mother forest.
How do regular citizens even stand a chance?
This is the part where the future is unwritten. Young people have the numbers to rewrite the story. If they choose to, of course. Kelly reached out and touched one of the glowing ballots. pulsed like a heartbeat. So, what will you write in your thesis?
I'm going to remind people that dynasties aren't inevitable. We can break the loop, but we have to take part in breaking it.
So, hello guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Huge thanks to Nang Aliyah and Nang Moira for helping out with the script and everything that needs to be done so this video can be finished now. So if you're seeing this repeat, I hope you do give them a decent grade. No solicitation attended. But yeah, I really hope they graduate. So as a group, we decided that ending with the story of political dynasties and Kelly trying to figure out what to write for a thesis is not enough. We wanted to have at least a short discussion or just a gist of why political dynasties are bad. And to start it off, political dynasties are, in simple terms, unfair because, of course, you're monopolizing power and you're reducing competition in the first place. To give you guys a laymanized example, let's say you just got out of high school, not really high school, but you just got out of class as a high schooler student, and you wanted to play in a computer shop. But in the computer shop that you wanted to play, which was probably outside your school, is being hogged by a group of kids or isang barkada. Ginahog nila na ang computer shop na so hindi kakampang. And of course, pekon ka. And that works the same way as political dynasties because they're encroaching their possessions, encroaching political positions in a local government or municipality or even the country. You can see many types of political dynasties even today. And that being unfair is just one of many things, many bad things actually on what political dynasties bring to the table. And I think in our Pulsar 166 lesson, political ideologies, Sir Ventura was debating between the differences sang ni James Madison kag ni John Locke. And I think Sir Ventura emphasized something about James Madison being super, super against political parties or in his term during the time was factions. He hated that one group lang ang nakakonsentrate ang power and he believed I think na if one group kept hogging this power alone, then kung magsige-sige na they'll eventually be driven to self-interest and madako ang disparities between them and other groups and just the country in general. So basically, just oppose political parties, and he tried to make, I think, a framework that keeps these political parties. I mean, political parties can still run a country, but only in a temporary time, and that works the same way with political dynasties. The most logical question is, what's the point of having political dynasties if your intentions are good? If you were a true and honest politician, you would serve your term. For example, you have a term of 6 years, you'd serve your term and do as much as possible in those 6 years of doing good. So what's the point of having political dynasties kung intentions mo good, diba? Unless of course you have a hidden agenda, as what most of these political dynasties do, whether it would be the usual things na ginobra sa political dynasties is of course corruption and through corruption like sa mga simple pala na bagay if we apply for jobs or apply to universities, you would have a higher chance of getting that job if you had a backer. And that works the same way with political dynasties. Say I'm the president of the Philippines and my brother killed someone. Of course, my brother ko and I spend half of my life with him. I'd rather have him safe and free from the punishment because, of course, the common Filipino trait na magpalusot basta kilala mo. And even in the most local levels sa katon government, that's very prevalent. Ang pagpalusot kay kilala mo or kapamilya mo. And that logic works on political dynasties because it opens up to unfair competition and unfair advantage to the people that matter to you the most. And basically to sum it up, Political dynasties are unfair because they undermine the point of democracy. Elections are supposed to be fair. People are supposed to have their choice kung sino botoho nila. And the people who run for these positions should also have a fair go at it. So what's the point of having political dynasties if it's the same guys, same women, same men, under the same last name with under the same intentions, running the same positions? Diba? So what's the point of having political dynasties in the first place? Aside from the fact that you want to preserve, increase, and keep your power through unfair means. And that is basically the gist of political dynasties. You don't want anyone sitting in the same chair that you've been sitting for the past 5 years, and you only want your family members to sit in it to continue your legacy and probably get more rich. That's just the point of political dynasties.